Hey guys, Mark McMahon Real Estate in the fifth of a series, what is now going to be six, because I want to show you my next house after this. This is probably a culmination of about a year and a quarter of flipping. We actually started about 12 years ago. This one was about 10 years ago, the one that I'm going to share today. Didn't do too well on this one, but every one we do, we're making a little bit of progress. So I want to share this one with you and just kind of go over some of the struggles that some of us go through in the beginning when we first start flipping houses. All right, so if that's interesting or if it's something you want to hear about, please hit the like button, please subscribe, and sign up for notifications because Allie over here, she just loves to see that. So anyway, let's get started. So you can see how this house started out. I don't know if you can see it up here, but it says foreclosure for sale. So this is back when almost everything on the market was a foreclosure. We picked this up with our partner Dave, and we got a pretty good deal on it, but you can see it was in horrible shape compared to what it was when we got done. When we got done, it was a showpiece, but when we started, it was just a piece. So let's go over some of the numbers and I'll kind of explain to you what we did wrong and the things that we did right. We didn't do everything wrong. And remember, this was a learning experience, and this one didn't really cost us anything but time. So 2 years of flipping had produced about, $20,000. And, I was still doing handyman work and we were still just living on the edge, but we didn't give up on this dream of real estate investing. And I don't want you to do it either. That's why I'm showing you all this, is so you guys don't have to go through as much crap as I did. If you just kind of follow what I've done and don't make the same mistakes, you'll be fine. All right, so we purchased it for $195,000. Yeah, in Los Angeles. This house was in a really, really hot up and coming area. The rehab on it was $35,000. Now, this is kind of where we started making mistakes. We ended up doing way more work to this house than we wanted to. That's just what happens when you're beginning. I knew how to bid jobs, but I didn't know how to bid rehabs for flips before. I was a contractor before, so I know how to do the work. I know how to structure how much it's going to cost. But when you're doing something that you're going to resell, that was something that was out of my wheelhouse. At this time, we purchased it and we paid ourselves, myself and my partner, $7,000 as a buyer's fee. So in other words, we knew it was going to take a little while to get paid on this flip, so we took a little bit of money out up front. The next thing we have is holding and closing costs. Now, what is included in holding and closing costs? Closing costs is the 1% of the purchase price, about $2,000 that we paid as the buyer. So that was for our escrow fees and things like that. And the other $1,500 would go towards water, insurance, gas, anything to keep the house running while we owned it. That's probably a little low, but that's what we accounted for during that time. So that comes to a total of $240,000 in expenses. Now we're going to get to the good part. Sales cost, we'll go with that, and interest. So sales cost is the commission that we paid, which was 5% to the listing agent and the buyer's agent. So that was like when we listed the house, we paid commissions. We paid 10% on the money. We paid 10% on this $240,000 for about 6 months. So that came out to about $12,000, came out to exactly $12,000. So a total of $266,000 plus we had a couple other things crop up right at the end, and we had to come up with that money out of our pockets. So what else did we have, Allie? We had staging. We decided we had to stage the house because that's what everybody was doing at that time. This was a very small house. We knew we had to make it look as good as possible to make it pop, to get it to sell. And we also had an extra $4,200 in repairs that we had to do to the house before the buyer would take it. So they did an inspection and there was things they caught. When we originally bought this house, we assumed a sale price, an ARV of $349,000. Unfortunately, the market was going up at that time. It stuttered a little bit and we miscalculated, and that's what you've got to be really careful about when you're wholesaling. So we ended up at a total cost of $273,000 $800. And Allie, what did we sell this house for? $278,000. All right, so that was left us a profit of $4,200. And that $4,200 got eaten up in little things. Property taxes were a little bit more. The insurance was a little bit more. Those were the numbers that we calculated before. So this wasn't even really left at the end. Our only profit on this was the $3,500 that we got up front. Lesson learned is don't go so close to the edge. You know, if the profit isn't there, then don't do it. $349,000 was the profit we thought we would make if prices kept going up. They didn't, like I said. The market stuttered. It stopped. So don't ever try to flip a house thinking that the prices are going to keep going up while you're rehabbing it. It happens. I saw it in 2006, 2005. People were buying houses based on appreciation during the time they owned them. I've seen it today in 2021, and I saw it back then, and I experienced. When you buy a flip, make sure that you buy it at today's prices. Don't expect it to go up during the time you own it. If it does, what do we call that? We call that icing on the cake, which is a wonderful thing to have. I love icing. So, what have we learned? It's extremely important that you watch your costs, okay? I let costs get out of hand. We added the staging. We had a bunch of repairs we had to do. I should have known that up front. I didn't, based on my lack of experience, based on my lack of education. I expected the price to keep going up. It didn't. That really bit us. All right, guys, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please make them down below. I would love to see them, guys. I love to see your comments. I love to see your questions. We answer each and every one. By the way, down below, there's a list on how to get started, how to buy your first house, whether you want to flip it or whether you want to buy and hold it. It goes through all the steps that you need to take in order to get your first house. If you don't have the money to get started, download that free list. It doesn't cost anything. I just put it together because there were so many questions about that. Download that list and get started on the things you can do today. All right, guys, if you liked the video, please punch the like button. Please subscribe to our channel and sign up for notifications for Allie's sake and mine. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, check out these two videos. They're really going to help you on your investment journey. I'm also on Instagram. Tons of great video content there. Really good stuff. Please subscribe. I'll see you next time.